So how does the cube help with current and former special forces?
So from my experience and knowing how highly trained the special forces are, from my experience in the military, um, they're trained in such a level that the tiniest mistake, the tiniest oops, the tiniest like touching the wrong color, touching the wrong anything at the wrong second holds the power of killing everybody around you. Like giving up your cover, blowing your cover, and like, you know, you're operating behind enemy lines in very intense situations that if one wrong mistake could blow the whole thing apart. So the cube is play, but it's a play that can start as simple as touching one color and one color and build up to something that's very complex and hard to solve and almost impossible to solve. So what it's doing is decompressing and allowing this person that has been highly engaged, nervous system is overly active and overly
Overwrought.
just insanely blown out, and allowing them to find safety back, because to play you have to be 100% safe. So this allows them a space to start feeling safe again, to start being able to make mistakes, to start to live a life that if you do something wrong, nobody dies. And that gives them that space to like hold that space. And then whatever person they want to like facilitate that could be a person they trust, maybe their wife, maybe a therapist, another military service member, another special forces person, whoever they feel the safest with conducts the first session. And then as you progress into more complex movements and people that you trust least. And special forces work because they're a team and they're built into that team. So to me, having another service member facilitate the first cube session with another special forces person, there's a level of trust there that they both learn that I'm going to tell you something and you're probably going to do it wrong. And it's okay. We're both wrong in this moment and it doesn't matter because neither one of us are going to die in it.
So also the game, it's simplicity, but the complexity is also something that engages the kind of the mindset that these people have from the complexity they have to hold on to missions and stuff. You mentioned that too. Can you speak to that?
Because there's so much, there's so many details to remember, so many things to make sure that is, you know, you can't just get your paper out and read your instructions. Like this is all things that are remembered and trained into the mission and remembered in the mission. And so we want to be able to nurture that ability to remember so many things. And the cube allows you to do that because you can start with a couple things, you know, and I have, as an example, the average person that I work with can go 3 or 4, maybe 5 variable changes before their brain starts to shut down and they get lost in where they're at. But I also have people that have gone 16, 17, 18 variable changes deep and are still moving 3 times faster than the normal person. And I see that these people that are trained in that could move at that speed and at that complexity, but you're allowing them to still move at that speed and that complexity and to keep them engaged, but allowing them to do it playfully instead of like with an intense level of risk involved.
One more quick question. You touched on something that the more through the sessions they would be working with people they trust less and less.
Yes.
It'll just go off on that a little bit.
So they're with a team of people in a very high intense situation. They have to trust every single person they're with. Their life is in the hands of other people that are around them. I feel that the trauma, even in myself, having not even done the level of things they have, but just from military training, puts me on guard when I'm out in public because I don't trust anybody. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're capable of. I don't know what they have in their pocket. right? Sitting there watching the door, making sure you always can see where everybody's coming from, right? So as you are doing complex movements and free-flowing movements that you're making mistakes in, the working with people that you know the least becomes less traumatic as you keep working through that. So eventually you could do, in an extreme, take somebody that's been working on this to decompress and play the cube in a group, in a crowd of strangers in the middle of a festival or whatever, and say like, I don't care who's watching me. I trust myself, and I trust I trust my abilities and my capacity to handle myself, no matter who's around me.